So now we are getting ready to start. We are going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ahoy, Maloy! Welcome back to Talking in Teacups, the serious topic show with not so serious people. We are your host. I am. Got a little splash on there
Or
now. I am Decipher, the voice of the Blerds and the man with the words. It's still a little early in the morning for me, you know how that goes. But joining us, we also have the first ever Decipher gaming champion, Mr. Steal Your Waifu, and the geek goat himself, Elbow, with the new avatar. Oh,
you
I forgot to change it on the left thing too. Let's see. I'll change that afterwards. But yeah, how you feeling about that new avatar? He got the belt in his hand too, so representing.
I mean, it was where it belongs.
It's where it belongs. Love that, love that. Um, Let me see. What's the next slide? Make it like a slideshow. If you didn't know, well, first of all, it's good to be here with you today. In case you didn't know that, it's good to be here. What'd you say?
So, it's good to be here with you as well.
All
Yeah.
right. There we go. Yeah, yeah. If you didn't know, you can follow us on all the social medias. That includes Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Threads, TikTok, and more, all at Cypher's Pit Gaming. And if you want to support the channel, then you can make your way on down to patreon.com/. Cypher's Pit Gaming. We have some lovely tiers and we'd appreciate the support. But if you can't do any of that, that's a-okay, no problems, because you can watch for free here on YouTube and on Twitch. But coming up next, it's sometimes stale, sometimes fresh out the oven. You can't go wrong with a baker's dozen. Alright, so let's talk about Nintendo Switch 2. Let's talk about some good things, because we've always talked about the bad things, but let's talk about some good things. Nintendo has said that you can borrow and resell your Switch 2 game key card. So everybody made a big fuss about it, how the game isn't installed on the game key card. It's really just a license just to download the game. But at least they're not saying it's a one-time use thing. So it's not locked to a specific Nintendo account. You can you can resell it. So you're not tied down. They're just going to brick your system if you mod it in any way.
Yeah, sucks.
Yeah, pretty much. Oops. Speaking of things that
I
suck,
thought we were going to talk about the good things.
well, a lot of people were mad about the game key cards being not the physical game. So, say a game is, let's say 50 gigabytes. I don't know how much a Nintendo Switch cartridge can hold. So we'll say 25 gigabytes. This game key card will only be, maybe 1 gigabyte, just so it has the license for you to download the game. And people are like, what? This is DRM. This is stopping me from actually owning anything. And Nintendo has said, look, you can still sell it. You can still borrow it, let your friend hold it. It's trying to polish a turd. That's the expression. They're trying to polish a turd.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
You know what good things are, though, right? When you said this was going to be a good thing.
yeah. This is just their little failed attempt, and you'll see in the not this next news story, but coming up back, we're going to circle back to Nintendo how they try to polish this turd yet again. But let's change gears into a racing game, and let's talk about The Crew. So Ubisoft, they're the people who made The Crew. They said in this lawsuit, the fans were suing Ubisoft. They said, we want to talk about ownership, just like with Nintendo. We bought this game, and you took it from our libraries. This is The Crew 1, not The Crew 2, and we can't own it and play it anymore. And Ubisoft says you don't own your video games, you little bum. This is a license. You have permission to use this video game. That's it. Now, I'm taking a hard stance. I'm drawing a line in the digital sand. This is some BS. If I'm going to spend $60 at the time, that's how much it costs. Now up to $80. That's the new price of games. I own that game. I'm not doing no license crap. No, I own that game. So I'm all about the player. And I don't like it. I get it from a business standpoint. You will own nothing and you will be happy, but I'm not rocking with that. Just me personally.
Goddamn obvious.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Isn't Ubisoft a Canadian company?
No, they're French. Ubisoft.
Not surprised.
Well, that's Ubisoft for you. All right, let's go back to Nintendo. I gave it a little breather. Let's see if we can't polish that turd up some more. So Nintendo, they had some PR people try to clean things up, and you let me know if this is good or not. If this is, they've cleaned it up or if they've slopped it up some more. So Nintendo PR says, he tells people that, hey, look, if you can't afford a Switch 2, you can always buy the Switch 1.
Well, I mean, that's true, but it's still not player friendly.
Yeah, it's basically the exact same thing that I can't remember the person that's running Microsoft, not Microsoft, Xbox said. He said, well, it was somebody that was running it. He was like, look, if you can't afford the Xbox One, you can always buy the 360. And it just came off as tone deaf. Like, yeah, it's technically true, but doesn't it just sound condescending as hell?
For sure, for sure.
Nintendo, get
It's
it
a make
together.
let them. Is that a let them eat cake statement?
Exactly. All right. The Legend of Zelda. This is more Nintendo news. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Nintendo Switch 2 edition does not include the DLC. So, you know how The Last of Us, at least the first one, when it became remastered for the PS4, it came with the DLC? Yeah, well, Nintendo's not doing that. You got to buy that DLC. It's separate. Duh. Pay for it. You need that expansion pass? Pay for it. It's not included.
They're greedy.
Don't call them greedy. That's just good business. Nah, they're greedy. I can't even like fake justify it. I didn't have my coffee, so I just can't even fake justify it anymore. It's what are we doing here, Nintendo? What are we doing? Think about the kids.
The Japanese are being really capitalist and screwing us over, and the French are being really communist and that's screwing us over. The way we get screwed.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Game Pass since we dibbled and dabbled and talked about it. Phil Spencer, that was the guy's name. He spoke about Game Pass and he said it's not for everybody. Now, I find that to be a weird statement because the state of Microsoft Xbox right now is that you're trying to make it on every platform. You're basically trying to not well, you don't want to, but your hardware sales are slowing down. So you want to push software and you want to push your subscription. So again, we don't own anything and we'll be happy. So saying that it's not for everybody, you must have had a challenge. I don't have the context. You must have had I only have the clickbaity headline. You must have had a very challenging question sent your way to make you say something like that. Because essentially you want this to be for everybody. You've priced it. They probably were asking about the price point. You've priced it in a way that, oh, it's only $20 a month or a little bit less. And you could play a whole library of games all you want. So that should be for everybody. So for you to make that statement, it's not for everybody. Again, it seems a little out of touch, if you ask me.
I don't know about that. It's true. I mean, I don't play games like that every month. Like I told you, I've been playing Mountain Blade. If I've been playing for Game Pass this whole time, I would have just wasted whatever the monthly cost is that I was paying because I wouldn't have played anything else.
Okay, so for you, you're a slower gamer. You're not running through games like you used to back in the day, right?
Yeah, no way.
Then I can understand why he said it's not for everybody, but he's supposed to make it an attractive price point to where you are. I'm gonna say tricked. That might not be the best word, but where you are tricked to want to play this or pay for that, and you see it as, oh, Mountain Blade is $60, but it's on Game Pass. I can pay $10, and if I beat it in 2 months, then I've only paid $20. And then you take longer than that 2 months. You end up taking 7 months to really enjoy this game. You get sidetracked by other games. Now you're at $70. Then you're like, well, I forgot about Mountain Blade. Let me play this other new game, Doom. The Dark Ages just dropped. Let me play that for a few months. Now you're in that ecosystem. So they got you 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 months going past from your original 6 month plan or 2 months plan. You went from $20 to now you're at $100. So he's supposed to be doing that. So I don't know why he's saying it's not for everybody. You have a bunch of indies and you have a bunch of big games.
Yeah, not sure.
Yeah, so he should be propositioning it in a way where it's hooking everybody slowly and creepily. Just like I think it was last episode we talked about all that monetization stuff. This is literally y'all bread and butter. This is actually better. Like we as a player we agree with this. We don't like loot boxes. We don't like those battle passes. We don't like the I don't even know the skins that's you can't get in game currency. You have to use premium currency. But we like a Game Pass and the PlayStation Plus equivalent. We like that. We can rock out with that. So you should be making that for everybody. So,
But
moving on.
agreed.
Yeah, yep. Moving on. Cyberpunk 2077 is going to get a sequel if you didn't know, and allegedly it's going to feature multiplayer in some way, shape, or form. There was a job listing on CG.
Cyberpunk 2078.
Say it again.
Cyberpunk 2078. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, there you go. So there was a job listing on the website for someone who can code multiplayer or network, I think it said, into the game. So we're thinking that there's going to be some form of multiplayer. I don't need that to be the main focus of the game. It is a great single player RPG. Don't water it down with unnecessary or unthoughtful multiplayer. But another rumor, well, not a rumor, this has kind of been slightly confirmed by the person who created the tabletop game. I forgot his name, sorry, I did not say his name. He said that it's going to be Night City is still going to be in the game, so you still get Night City, but you're also going to get a West Coast city, something in the vein of Chicago, but like everything got worse than it already is. So Chirac,
That's not a
Chirac.
West Coast city.
That's not what?
A West Coast city.
Oh, sorry, I meant to say East Coast city. My bad. The West Coast city is Night City, and then you get an East Coast city of Chicago, or that would be yeah, yeah,
Midwest.
yeah, Midwest. But yep, so you get two cities now, and I don't know how many years this game's gonna take, so don't expect to see it anytime soon. And you know what else you can't expect to
And they'll
see?
probably drop it 2 years before it's actually done anyway.
What'd you say?
They'll probably drop it 2 years before it's actually done anyway.
Oh, speaking of things you can expect to see, that would be Stellar Blade's hyper realistic statues. So Stellar Blade, that was the action RPG, kind of like a Souls-like game that came out last year. It took PlayStation by storm. It's coming to PC. You know, there was a little bit of controversy because her suits, her skins, if you will. Well, actually, her suit looked like her skin. One of them, not all of them. Not trying to make any, things to say, but you could say it was a Gooner game, if you will. If you will. So to capitalize on said Gooner status,
Which game is this?
would you say?
Which game is this?
This is called Stellar Blade. Heard of it?
Oh, gross. Gross, Stellar Blade. How do you spell that?
Stellar.
I'm a, I'm a,
And, and they have realistic statues, so like the same height, realistic looking skin. They cost 3,000, and the statue sold out literally in minutes of them being, put up on the storefront. So everybody wants those statues for some reason. I guess they just look really cool. Not the fact that they're hyper realistic. I don't know what that has to do with anything.
nice.
They'll look really good in your man cave. A nice statue of a tall, full-bodied woman. Well, not full body, but she got the heavies, if you know what I mean.
You said they're sold out.
They're sold out, yeah, completely gone.
Right. That sucks.
And you know what else sucks? The original makeup design leaked for Captain America's Brave New World, and this is Tim Blake Nelson's The Leader character. So in the movie, he does not look like this, but he could have looked like this. Now, I ask you,
Insane. He actually looks a lot like you.
yeah, big forehead. He don't have dreams. He have IMAX motion pictures. This is what we could have gotten, but we got instead like a melted brain gamma radiated mess. And I like this leader head better. I know it's not as serious, so they wanted to go for a more serious look, but no, I like this better. Have some humor, have some seriousness, because he just looked crazy in the movie, and also he didn't do anything. He was saying, oh, I see probabilities. I know exactly what you're going to do before you even do it, probability wise. And maybe they should have shown like numbers floating off his head, like really silhouette faint, so you could
Like
tell.
that meme. Like that meme where all the magic just pop up next to the person.
Exactly. That was from the Hangover 3 or 2, one of them. But yes, they should have did that. Then you could really get a sense of, oh, this dude really is smart. He know to go left if somebody about to punch him, or go right when somebody about to punch him, based on whatever math and probabilities. But they didn't do any of that. So again, no knock to the director. From what we know and understand from Marvel, the producers always like step in and say, okay, but you gotta do this, you gotta change this, maybe not giving you enough time. And I think they also had to deal with strikes at the time too. They had writer strikes and stuff. But I'm making a whole bunch of defenses for it.
It's not like he could duck a punch.
Yeah, right. Like I said, I enjoyed the movie. It's just the villains, man. This is like a phase one style movie. Good humor, but the villains just completely forgettable. All right, let's talk about things that aren't forgettable, or maybe they are. Enzoy, do you know what it is? Have you played it yet? I know you haven't played it, but do you know what it is? You know what Enzoy is?
Enzoy, no.
Enzoy is the Sims killer. This game has been in early access for about a month or two. I want to say it was March. It could have been April. And everybody was highly anticipating this game because Sims has been out for a long time. But imagine the Sims with Unreal Engine 5. Great graphics, open world city. So it would be more like the Sims 3 if anything. So it had a real huge spike. Everybody was hyped. They loved it. A little bit of controversy, but nothing really important. The only controversy that I could remember seeing was that the game by default, because I think the game is it might be Korean, don't get me, it's an Asian country that makes it. By default there wasn't any homosexual NPCs. Like all the NPCs by default were heterosexual. So, people on that side of the aisle were like, hey, this doesn't feel inclusive. But basically the player base is dwindling from Enzoy, which is a shame, really. But I think that's that TikTok era that we live in. People are hype about a game and then they just move on so quickly. But the company, Crafton, that's who makes it, they said they're going to change how they communicate going forward because they felt like, or players felt like they just weren't getting updates or communication from the developers fast enough because the game is out. But the caveat is it's out in early access. So there's still going to be changes and features added to the game. And I guess players are just being like demanding, like, hey, we want to know sooner.
When you showed it to me, it looked like it was in alpha.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I enjoyed it, but it just comparing it to Sims 4, where Sims 4 is at now. Now, if we're talking at launch Sims 4, I don't remember. But if we're talking about Sims 4 as it stands now, you just can't compare it, unfortunately, because it just has so much features and expansion packs. Even though Enzoy is better in a sense because I can actually see my character leave their apartment and go all the way to, the beach or a friend's house or whatever. And that's what Sims 3 did. Sims 4, you can kind of do that on some of those maps, but it's not in the same scale as Enzoy. You can also drive a car on Enzoy. On Sims 4, there's no vehicles. You can't drive any vehicles, by the way. Enzoy, you can directly control your player. So you can, it doesn't even use what's it called, gamepad. I'm a little upset about that. But again, it's early access, so you have to use like the keyboard, the WASD, to move around. You can do that. Sims 4, you can't unless you have a mod. So like I said, there's some pros and cons, but Sims 4 just has too many expansion packs. It's just, you can't compare it. I don't remember if Enzoy even has pets yet. I think it does because the cat is like the first thing you see on the screen. So I think there are pets. I just can't remember to confirm. But shout out to this game because we need competition. Can't just have the juggernauts there. This would be like if like an indie artist, like a rap artist, was trying to top, let's say, who's like has the most things out. A Drake or something. Yeah, you can say Drake. So it's a lot of, it's a what's that joint? It's a slippery road ahead, not slippery road. It's an upward battle. That's what it is. Upward battle, and we want Enzoy to succeed. We need competition in the gaming industry. But speaking of competition, Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is 2025's top-rated mainstream game user score on Metacritic. Now this is fun competition because this is it's like an indie game basically. So instead of a AAA, this would be like a AA game, and it had a very small dev team, and it's already been the 2025's top rated mainstream game. And it just goes to show you that, if you put the fans first and the users first, you're going to get a banger. I haven't touched this game yet because I just know I don't have time. I haven't even finished Baldur's Gate 3, embarrassingly, and I'm not even gonna hide it. I'm just gonna own it. But yeah, have you heard of it yet, Claire Obscure?
Yeah, my friends have been talking heavy about this game. It's in my wish list. As soon as it goes on sale, I'm gonna grab it.
Gotcha. Yeah. From what I've seen, it looks really good. It's just like, dang it, I want to play that, but it'll be like the Game Pass description where I'm playing this game, then I'm hopping from this game to this game. Like right now, I'm playing the last game I played was Tabletop Simulator, which you could play for hours and years just because it has a bunch of mods with other games. And then I'm playing RimWorld, which is like a strategy game, and you could be playing that forever too, just because it's a strategy game. You can play those kind of games forever. So eventually, I'll get there. We'll get there. Uh, but you know what won't get there? EA's Titanfall game. They have canceled it. So Electronic Arts has canceled its next Titanfall game, and it lays off more than 300 employees. This is terrible. There's a lot of cost-cutting things going on. So EA has now canceled Titanfall. They've canceled Battlefront 3. I mean, not just now, but obviously it's not coming. No battle. Star Wars Battlefront 3, and also I saw in the story that they canceled Black Panther game that was going to come out, and they closed that whole studio. So EA, Jesus guys, what's going on? You hired too many people or something? How you closing a whole
They,
studio?
they probably did.
That's what I'm guessing. And they're just not making enough money. The gaming industry is on a slowdown. Everybody's upset about these $80 price tags, and I bet you we already talked about a couple weeks ago that Nintendo's raising their prices to, I said 80, right, or was it 70? I think it said 70 to 80. And then everybody wants to know
Yep.
what's GTA going to do. It's going to be crazy. And then in our next news story, to tag on right along with this, Microsoft is raising the price of all its Xbox Series consoles, and Xbox has just confirmed that their games are going to hit $80 starting in this holiday season. So everybody's raising their prices just because they're not making enough money. It's crazy. And in our last news story, Hawkeye season 2 is still going to be happening without Jeremy Renner. So they tried to lowball Jeremy Renner, and he just didn't want to do it because they offered him, I think, five. So first, on the first season he made $10 million, and then for the second season, he was injured. He had a basically near death experience where he was crushed by a snow plow. So he asked not for a raise. He said just pay me the same amount because I'm basically going to be working twice as hard for a longer run time. Like if it was 4 months to film the first season, it would be, let's just round out and say 8 months to film the season 2. So pay me the same 10 million, and that'd be fine. I don't even need a raise, even though he's looking at Robert Downey Jr. making 90 million. He said it's fine, just give me the 10 million. And they said no, can you do it for 5? And he said, well, goddamn, like I know I got ran
Yeah, that's
over
great.
half to death, but I'm still the same dude. I still be out here shooting arrows. What am I, half the renter because I got run over? You want me to do double the work for half the price? So he's like, no, absolutely not going to do that because again, his body physically, he can't do all those same things, and he just asked for the same amount. He did not ask for a raise. And they tried to offer him half. And he said, he cleaned it up though, because he knew he was on the podcast. He said, I'm not mad at Kevin Feige. I'm not mad at Marvel. I'm mad at the eggheads, like the accountants. That's who he's mad at. And he said, if they want to do it, they can do it without me. Stand on business. Stand on business, Hawkeye.
That's his prerogative. That's his prerogative.
Yeah. Would you take that deal?
For $5 million, I'm broke. I'm broke.
But no, say you not broke. Say you already are good because you're an actor. You was in the Hurt Locker. You were in a Mission Impossible movie, maybe two. I don't remember anymore. You were in Jason Bourne. God damn it.
He already is an established Avenger. He's one of the original six. So it's not like the people don't know who he is.
Yeah. So you got money. So say you already got money, but you got a bad back, bad leg. I don't know all the extent of his injuries, and they disrespected you.
He ran him over by one of those snow things.
Mm-hmm. It crushed him.
Insane. Insane, man.
Wait, hold on. Would you take the deal? The 5 million? It's less than what you got paid the first time around. And for the first time around, you only had to shoot for 4 months. This time, you're going to shoot for 8 months. So you're doing twice the work for
Yeah.
half the pay. You taking that deal still?
No,
No.
I'm already rich.
Yeah, you're already rich. Because he's not like a younger actor. He's got some investments and stuff. All right, let's go to, yeah, that was it for the news story. Let's tell a little dad joke. Let's see if I get my delivery. I gotta work on it. Did you know that it's illegal to laugh out loud in Hawaii? You have to keep to aloha. Aloha. Yo, why is it always crickets every time I do my aloha? Aloha, aloha, come on. Ahoy, Maloy, aloha. Like, this is all in the same ballpark of the theme. What are you doing? Did you not get it? Laugh out
No,
loud?
I got it.
Yo, alright. And I did the accent too. I said, did you know that it's illegal to laugh out loud in Hawaii? You have to keep to aloha.
Yeah,
Aloha.
racism was probably not either.
I wasn't doing a racist thing. I love accents. If you've watched this show since at least episode 1, I think we talked about what was it, Idris Elba, and I was like, I love accents. So, it's never coming from a place of hate. Not like yesterday we played this game. Elbow insisted upon us playing it. This is not my rant, by the way, but this is a little bonus story. So Elbow insisted upon making us play this terribly racist caricature of a game. Horrible. I won't even say the game's name. I won't give it any credit, any, shout out. But it was a horrible,
Isn't this
horrible
on the
game.
internet?
What'd you say?
Isn't this on the internet?
Yeah. That's the game you had us play. I'm not saying the name of the game. I'm just saying you had us play this video game, or this game. I won't even say what kind of game it was. It's terrible. Terrible, terrible. All right. Topic number 1. In a battle of the Marvel super soldiers, this is just MCU, by the way, because comics, get a little crazy. So as far as the MCU goes, if each of the super soldiers, the people in MCU who took super soldier serum, were at their prime strength, because it varies based on which super soldier serum formula you got, who's going to win in a fight? Or, say fight to the death, if you will. And why do you think they're going to win? So our competitors, you got the original Captain America, you got the Hydra version, Bucky, Winter Soldier. Then you got the black version, what's his name? I can't even get it. Isaiah Washington, excuse me. And then you have the government version. That's John Walker, aka U.S. Agent. Then you have another Russia version. Well, I guess one was Hydra. This one's Russia. That's Red Guardian. Then you have the Nazi version. See how it's different versions? You got Red Skull. Because remember, he took a super soldier serum, but it burnt his skin off or whatever. It mangled his face. Then you have I don't know what you want to call this one. The military version. And that's Emil Blonsky, a.k.a. the Abomination. Even though I don't think you count the Abomination because that was more Gamma. At first, he took a super soldier serum to be strong, but then he still got beat up by the Hulk. Like the Hulk kicked him into a tree. Then there's the Elseworlds version. I know they don't call it Elseworlds. I forgot what they call it. And that's Captain Hot. What's her name? Captain Carter. My bad. Captain Carter. And that's Peggy, whatever her name is. My bad. Then you got Flag Smashers. My bad. Should have practiced those names or at least wrote them down. So that's all off the top. Who's winning in this fight?
Well, it's a free for all.
Free for all.
And the flag smashers are more than one person, or just the leader?
Just the leader girl. Just the leader girl.
And they get any weapons they would normally have.
Any weapons they would normally have. I'm leaning towards Isaiah Washington because I think there was a line in Falcon and the Winter Soldier where it was said that I think Bucky came to kill him. And remember, when Bucky is in kill mode, when he's brainwashed, he's super strong. Nobody's stopping him. And Isaiah Washington said, man, I whipped that little boy ass. Bow, bow. Sent him back packing to them Nazis or to the Hydra people.
Cat beat Bucky too.
Cap beat Bucky. All right, so the tier list so far, we have Isaiah beats Bucky, Cap beats Bucky.
I think it's already in order.
No, don't do it in order. Just who you think's gonna win out of all 9 of those people.
I think it's already in order, going from bottom right to top left. I think it's already in order.
Oh wait, hold on. You disrespecting Captain Carter, Agent Carter, whatever, Peggy Carter, because I think she can beat Emil Blonsky. Emil Blonsky got beat by the Hulk, and I feel like I feel like Steve could take down the Hulk. I don't know. I feel like Steve Rogers, not John Walker, but I feel like Steve Rogers could take down the Hulk. For some reason, that shield, man. I don't know. Nah, never mind.
Blaze right here.
He's just him though. He's Captain America. All right. So wait, Emil Blonsky. Wait. So you think? Let me see. Because Emil Blonsky can't beat. You think Emil Blonsky could beat Captain Carter?
Yes.
Disrespectful. You didn't
Maybe I'm
see.
being after you get the super serum, you're maybe I'm just being sexist.
You didn't see I'm trying not to laugh. You didn't see Marvel's What If. She was out here traveling dimensions. Come on now. She's strong. Flag Smasher girl,
I do
sure, we
not.
could put her down there. We could put Flag Smasher down there. Just because she younger, maybe not as experienced. She got raw strength but no actual military training. Emil Blonsky
Yeah.
and Agent Carter got some kind of military training. Red Skull, I don't remember seeing him really throw hands.
Get his bootleg ass serum, bro. That shit melted his face off.
And then you think Red Guardian can beat Emil Blonsky?
Yes.
It's because he's burly. He could take some punches, right? I get you. I get you. I can feel that. He drink a lot,
Then I
so
have
he's drinking a
these
lot of
four,
vodka. Yeah.
and then those four there at the top. They probably could take each other on any given day. The reason I put Cap at the top is because of that stupid shield.
Well, I don't. You said it's in order, but I don't think Bucky. Yeah, Bucky's not beating Isaiah Washington.
I think he could.
No, no. Which Bucky? You talking about Winter Soldier when he's brainwashed, or when he got all of his thoughts about him?
I thought we were talking about the latest iteration where we see them really strong. So like in game Cap.
Whichever one you want. I'm saying prime strength because prime strength Isaiah Washington we didn't see, so I can let my imagination roam wild. And I'm thinking of a black dude with super soldier serum. He already at peak physical strength, and now they've injected him
You're being
against his
racist.
will.
You're being racist for black people. I don't hate you for it, but tell the truth, that's what you're doing.
I mean, I could say I'm glazing. I don't think I'm being racist, but I'm glazing. So we're talking about a black soldier who I'm going to imagine. I said I'm going to imagine. I'm allowed to do that. That's nothing malicious, no racist in there. So no, I'm not being racist. Anyway, so we had a black soldier who's already had to go through what's it called? Training, personal training. I forgot what they call it. Boot camp, basically. So he's already in peak physical conditioning. Then against his will, so he's angry now. He got some anger against his will. He's being experimented on. So unless they're beating him down, I don't think they are, but they're injecting him with super soldier serum, trying to recreate the Cap thing because Cap's frozen in ice. Now we got a strong, angry black guy. Yo, he's peak. He's strong. He might not be original Cap since that's what you want to go with. He's surely beating Bucky though. Surely trashing Bucky. Who's a Nazi? Who's a Nazi? That already takes away 2 points from him.
Well, then Red Skull should be further down too, because he's a Nazi.
Yeah, yeah. You
And
think
Red Guardian he's a goddamn communist.
you think what's their name? Flag Smasher could beat Red Skull? I don't think Flag Smasher's beating Red Skull. I'm sorry, Flag Smasher.
No way.
Now what about Captain Carter? Captain Carter can beat Red Skull, I believe. I feel that.
No.
Why are you not giving Captain Carter no love? She got a shield too. I think you didn't see Marvel's What If. You didn't see What If, right?
No.
That's why. She throw hands. She know how to do it. She throw hands. Now base strength, if you're talking like male female, maybe the male has stronger base strength, but then with the super soldier serum they both go up. So yeah, her strength probably base strength can't match Red Skull, but I would say his super soldier serum gave him a deformity, so maybe he's not as strong.
The only thing I ever saw her in was Doctor Strange, and she
Oh,
gets
okay.
smoked within like 0.5 seconds. That's the only image I have of her in my head.
All right, fair enough. So with that image in mind, yeah, she's cooked. She's cooked. I'm trying to think of Emil Blonsky. You think Emil Blonsky's beating Red Skull? Because now if we're doing that based on what we remember seeing, I don't think Emil
I was,
Blonsky's beating Red Skull.
those two are neck and neck to me.
Yeah. So then right now everything is kind of in order, except I would move Isaiah Clarke and Winter Soldier. I would just move those two. I would move those. Actually, wait. John Walker not beating Red Guardian. I told you that. That drunken strength from Red Guardian, he's going to beat John Walker. John Walker, unless you kill his best friend in front of him, he's going to
Oh,
lose.
no. John Walker's got he's got like that Cadillac of super serums. Everybody else is doing kind of bootleg.
Okay. And John
Everybody else got
Walker, he already not
if you
afraid to
take this
take
joint,
orders blindly.
everybody else got the joint. Like if you take this joint, you most likely are gonna die. It's like, oh my God, you're so lucky that you survived this. John Walker took the joint. They're like, yeah, I'll see you at work on Monday.
I see you at work on Wednesday. And you think he'll beat Red Guardian though? Because remember, you got that drunken strength. That strength will make you not feel certain punches. So I don't know. It's the endurance is what I mean. The endurance factor.
He's a Russian. All his strength is drunken strength.
So that's what I'm saying. You think John Walker? Well, John Walker probably has a tactical mind too, so that might beat him. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give it to
Now
John Walker.
criticism. If it's close, I'm giving it to the American.
Okay, all right, John Walker then. Well, there you have it, folks. So Steve, still, oh, so we're still going with at the top of the tippy top is Steve Rogers, right?
Yes.
All right, there you go. What's second place for me? It's going to be John Walker. I mean, not John
For
Walker.
me,
Sorry,
it's Bucky.
it's
For me,
Bucky.
it's Bucky.
All right,
Vibranium firm, super soldier, killing machine. Yeah.
fair enough. All right, there we go. Let's go into our rant segment. Elbow, what you got for a rant today? Good or bad? I
I'll
mean,
tell
you
you
know
what.
how this works.
I tell you what I got for a rant. I was having a peaceful night last night, playing Mountain Blade, and chilling out, watching the stream, and all of a sudden I get accused of putting on Ghetto Monopoly with the crack house and the chop shops and all this. Nah, bro, I'm not taking that.
I didn't say what it was, so the fact that you know what it is looking damning for yourself.
No, it's really not because I was sitting there watching your stream and trying to play me.
Tell us more about Ghetto Monopoly. You said there's crack houses involved. What kind of game were you specifically playing? That's terrible.
I saw the money. It's got the yeah. Yes. Sorry about that. What were you saying?
I said, what kind of game were you specifically playing? You mentioned crack houses. This is a game you were playing Saints Row. Oh, we get it. Saints Row. Yeah, yeah. We like Saints Row.
This crazy part was the money. The money had this crazy looking ass black dude on it. It was totally racist. I'm 100% sure a white person beat this game.
Yeah, that game. It said copyright 2002. From what I saw from Elbows, insisting upon me looking at the game. So it said copyright 2002. So it came out during a time where I think 50 Cent just blew up. So everybody wanted to capitalize on that gangster image. All right, well that's a good rant that you tried to spin. I got a rant for you. I discovered that my close friend is MAGA, and now I feel upset. So it all started from some videos being shared to me in my social medias, my DMs. I watched the videos and they're funny, but I noticed there's a pattern between the videos. Over time, I start to put them together. I don't really think about them until I start reading the news and seeing things. And I noticed these videos kind of seem like they're mostly insulting or coming at the left. And normally, I don't care. Everybody gets to smoke. You come at both sides, make it funny. But this series of videos, they've been leaning more and more towards let's glaze Trump. And I'm like, that's kind of weird. I mean, I like humor, but now it's starting to feel non-factual humor. Like, it's funny when humor has a layer of truth to it. Like, oh, yeah, you can't get nothing done because you're too busy filibustering. But these videos started to be like, oh, now they're just kind of telling lies. So I asked my friend, I said, are you MAGA? And they said, nah. I said, all right, cool. That's kind of weird because all the videos he was sending me is, I don't know, man. Don't even worry about it. So then some more time goes by, and I'm expecting some different kind of videos being sent to me, and the videos were still right-leaning, heavy right-leaning, insulting the left. And I'm like, I mean, these aren't even really funny anymore at this point. It's kind of just like you're making up stuff. Like, oh, they're too. I don't remember any of the videos because this was months ago, but that's the vibe that you can get from the videos. So I ask again. I said, hey, are you sure you're not MAGA? Because like these videos are really right-leaning, blah, blah, blah. And this time I don't get a clear answer. So that already gives me red flags. Because when you can't answer a simple yes or no question, it's like, a little suspect. And it said, well, what's wrong with the current administration? I said, oh, that's an interesting question. I can answer this question. So I listed a few things, abuse of power, taking people from their families,
Use of power.
abuse of
It's
power,
the U.S. government.
Oh, yeah.
It's not the U.S. administration. That's just the problem with the U.S. damn government.
Yes, but if you are Republican and you are a or you are a what's it called MAGA, those are two separate things. So a Republican still believes in the Constitution. A MAGA believes in just Trump because Trump tries to circumvent the Constitution, and I don't think that you should stand for that if you are a Republican. If you are a MAGA, then to me you're in a cult because you're just glazing this one dude. But if you're an American and you really like the Constitution and the law, then you gotta stand on business and you saying, well, yeah, I like the law and yeah, he represents my party as a Republican, but I don't stand for what he's doing. There's a whole list of other things, but honestly, I don't have that all memorized. I'm not gonna sit here and say this is a political thing. You hear the intro up top. It says serious topics with not so serious people. But I do gotta draw the line, and I was about to tell you where. So I said, well, what about this was back when Elon was a part of the party. I know recently he just left, but at the time he was a part of the party. And that's so I asked my friend, I said, well, what about the Sig Heil? That's when Elon mustered the Nazi salute. So my friend, again, doesn't answer the direct question. He said, well, the Americans brought the Nazis over. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what are you doing right now? Like, you over here gaslighting me. I don't care that the Americans. What'd you say?
What did he say?
He said, well, the Americans brought Nazi stuff over. Like, instead of answering my question, I said to him a direct question: do you think Elon Musk is evil because he did a Nazi salute? And it's a yes or no question. He said, my friend said, well, the Americans. I think he said it's not his fault. Actually, he said the Americans brought Nazis over. That's what he said. Not answering my question. And I'm like, first of all, getting annoyed because when people don't answer the question, that just tells me, like, I've been alive long enough to know when I'm being gaslighted and bullshitted, especially because I have kids. And it was just like, dude, you're not answering. What'd you say?
You said gaslighted. That's not a
Oh, yeah,
word.
yeah. Sorry.
Gaslit.
Thank you. So I'm like, you're avoiding my question, which is already getting on my nerves, and then you're trying to like gaslight me. I can say that, yeah, gaslight me. Yeah, trying to gaslight me that this is okay and this is normal. So I said, okay, we'll put a pin on that. I said, do you not think that it's evil the things that he's enabling? And they said no, because this is going to, I forgot how they worded it. Again, this was months ago. I just now was finally able to add it to my rants. They was like, Trump, not Elon, or both of them. I don't remember. He was saying that, yeah, he's going to be a businessman. He's going to change things. Da, da, da. This was during the time of the tariffs and all that stuff. And it was just a whole bunch of overall misinformation and glazing. And I was just like, dude, if you really believe this stuff and support it, because it sounds like you do, I don't want to talk to you anymore, because I just explained to you how Nazi salutes, Nazis don't like black people. So how are you trying to be my friend and
You
you?
want to bring your friend to what he believes?
Hell yeah. If my friend believes in hate or believes in, let's just say, the devil, not saying
Y'all
that
are
Trump is
friends.
the
You know
devil.
he's a bad person.
What'd you say?
Y'all are friends. You know he's not a bad person.
Well, the fact that we're friends, that's why I know that he's a bad person. When you close to someone, you know the good and bad things that they do. This was kind of just like, you know, like, goddamn, dog. I forgave a lot of stuff and things that you said, but it's like you're showing your true colors. So yeah, I had to just say, look, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Like, it's just clear and day. It's one of those things, as you get older, like when you're younger, you can still have debates forever and forever, but as you get older, you want to just protect your peace. So I said, dude, I just don't want to talk to you. I don't have time to sit here and explain, because I could look it up. I could literally sit here and look it up and help you come see the light and understand that what this person is doing is unconstitutional, evil as shit. I mean, it just on business is evil as shit. So if you support that, because he didn't, my friend didn't outwardly deny all the deportation, because remember, they're supposed to only be, I'm trying to get political and be specific, but allegedly this administration is only supposed to be deporting criminals, right? We can all agree, but they're going after construction workers. They're going
You
after,
can deport anybody. You can deport anybody. They're not here legally. You can deport anybody.
okay, so it sounds like you're also leaning towards that. But again, the administration said they were going after criminals. They said they're not worried about the hardworking people, but now they're ignoring that, because there was a whole bunch of videos you could see of them just going after families, like just at their house, like ICE agents are going in people's houses and ripping apart families, and that affects me personally, because I have people in my family. I won't get specific, so I'm like, if you support that kind of stuff, like, What'd you say?
Are you here illegally? I'm about to call a cop on you. You here illegally?
I'm not gonna get specific, and I know you're doing a bit, but that's all I'm gonna leave it at that. So I just can't support that, and I can't support a person who cool with that. They like you're just a horrible person. You're a horrible person. People are trying to seek, what's the word, asylum. So they come here, they try to seek asylum, or they come here and they're actually contributing to society. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. So you said you wanted to get rid of illegals because they're taking jobs or whatever, but then when they're all gone and you as a person don't want those jobs, now you've just made the workforce harder. So now you don't have those undocumented people doing the farm jobs that you was never going to do, spraying the pesticides that have traces of cancer in them. So they're literally sacrificing their bodies. And now who's going to do it? Because you're not going to get paid a living wage to do this farm job or to do the hotel jobs or the construction site job. Well, the
Bro,
construction site job you do get paid, but
the pesticides got traces of cancer in it.
yeah, you ain't know that. What's that,
Shit,
John?
spraying it at all.
What? No, they do because that's what they do to keep the bugs
You know how
away.
much? You know how much fruit I got in my house right now?
It's no way you. All right, I know you're doing a bit, but I'm about to stop you right now. We both,
What's that?
me and Elbow both went
There's
to a very.
cancer on my.
I'm gonna stop real quick because I know you're doing a bit, but just because people will be listening to this, me and Elbow both went to a very smart high school. We had a class called, I think it was multicultural ethical issues. So it's no way he doesn't already know this. So don't fall for this little jokey thing that he's doing. We know about Monsanto. We know about Monsanto's the company. I ain't gotta explain that. We all know what it is. We know about Monsanto. We know about the it's the weed thing. I forgot what it is. What is it called right now? But it's that chemical that they spray the weeds with to get rid of bugs, but it has traces of what's that shit called? I don't remember. Carcinogens. It has carcinogens in it. So that's why the whole thing of organic came out. Like people wanted shit that wasn't sprayed with nothing that could potentially get them sick. But yeah, long story short, yeah, for real.
This is not true.
Well, no, you took me on a whole side quest. I had to explain several things. Long story short, yeah, I had to end that because it was crazy. That was crazy. But moving right along, topic number 2. What is the first game? You're looking at the screen, right?
Yes,
This
it
is
just says
important.
Trump forever.
No, don't. I didn't go to it yet. Jesus Christ. What's the first game that?
Dang, bro, I'm really taking a big stance right here.
What's the first game that comes to mind when you see this? Bloop. I just thought of
Senators.
Kingdom Hearts
I thought
2.
we did this,
Well, sometimes I
right?
like to. I feel like we did, but I didn't mark it as done, so we redoing it. Don't worry about that. But sometimes I like to
Yeah.
revisit topics. I just thought of Kingdom Hearts 2 just now. That's why it was important to do it, catch you right on there. So yeah, that was quick.
Doom, 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 doom. That's that shit. That's that city.
Now I want to do trivia. Wait, was there anything in between ads? We're not going to do the ad part. We're going to do guess the movie. I mean, not guess the movie. Sorry, we're going to do trivia because last night we were playing games and I didn't prep for guess the movie. So I want to do trivia questions, just 10.
Okay, no, do trivia. Do trivia.
All right, now I want to embarrass you. So last night, me and my little brother, we played Trivial Pursuit, and I was trash. So I want to get Elbow 10 trivia questions. Can you give me a TV show or a movie? And I'm going to have ChatGPT come up with some trivia questions. We'll see if you can guess all 10 of them. You should be able to. You should be able to ace them.
If I pick it, oh well, Game of Thrones then.
All right. I'm doing the book to make it even harder. I hope that's harder.
That would be easier for me. You should do the TV show because I know
I
less about
already typed in
production.
book. Oh, these jaws look super easy. All right, once you ace these, I'm gonna do a TV show or ask you for harder. Question number 1: who is the author of Game of Thrones? A Game of Thrones.
George R. Martin.
All right, easy. What is the name of the continent where most of the story takes place?
Westeros.
That's correct. Who becomes the hand of the king at the beginning of the book?
Eddard Stark.
Yeah,
Lord Eddard Stark.
that's correct. The way you hesitated, I swear I had you. I was getting excited. What is the motto of House Stark?
The motto:
Yeah.
Winter is coming.
What? That didn't even make any sense. Why would that be the motto? I thought that was a warning from the ice giants.
No, no, no. So every house has their house words, and the Starks are the Lords Paramount of the North, which is always snowing. Even in the summer, it's snowing. So winter is coming. It's kind of like it's ominous because yes, it's very dangerous for their part of the world, but it's also like if you fuck with them, we're coming.
I got it. So for me, never watching or reading the book, obviously, and never watching the show, from the commercials that I saw, I always just thought that this was they were all rallying together. I didn't know there was a bunch of betrayals. They were all rallying together, and the Ice Giants were coming, and it took 5 or 7 seasons for the goddamn Giants, Ice Giants, to come. That's just my outsider,
So
completely wrong perspective.
it's kind of got a double meaning because so a lot of people die in the winter in the north. So it's kind of like a warning. But
Yeah.
also you got these freak ice zombies coming down from the north.
Okay,
So
so I
winter's
wasn't
coming.
wrong. All right, there we go.
Then
Gotcha.
also you also the Starks got screwed over in the whole beginning of the books and they're all separated and they're all like lost their power. But when they come back, they take revenge on everybody who screwed them over. So
Wait,
it's
is
like
this also
winter
in
is
the
coming.
show?
In the show too, yeah.
Okay, that makes it interesting. Every time he explains Game of Thrones, I'm always like, okay, I actually want to watch that. All right, who is Jon Snow's mother, according to what is known in the first book?
What is known in the first book?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so this is difficult because I know who Jon Snow's mother is for real, but you don't know who she is. You're not confirmed who she is in the first book.
That's
So I'm
actually
gonna go out
that's
on a limb.
yeah, that's actually the answer. It says her identity is unknown in the first book. She is said to be a woman Ned Stark met during Robert's rebellion. So I gave that part.
That's the answer.
That's the answer. Because in the first
So
book, I
the way I
guess you don't
describe,
know her.
I'm literally explaining the problem with answering. I'm like, I know who she is, but they don't explain it in the first book.
All right, what is the name of Daenerys Targaryen's brother who arranges her marriage to Khal Drogo?
Viserys Targaryen.
Yep. Ah, this is so easy for you. All right, what creature is the direwolf sigil based on, and what happens to one early in the book?
What creature is the direwolf sigil based on? It's based on a direwolf. I don't get that question. And it gets a direwolf in the very beginning of the book gets killed by a stag, gets an antler in the neck, and dies as she's giving birth to her pups.
And what happens to the pups?
They're adopted by the Starks.
All right, that's correct. It says a direwolf. That's exactly what you said. The sigil is based on a direwolf, which was a dumb question to be worded anyway. A dead direwolf is found with 6 pups, which are given to the Stark children. He's like, was that 7? So he's 7 for 7. All right, here we go. Who pushes Bran, or it could be Bronn? Who pushes? What's that?
Jamie Lannister,
Oh yeah,
the
that's the answer.
Kingslayer.
That damn. Yeah, who pushes Bran Stark from a tower leading to his paralysis? Jamie Lannister is the answer. Yes. I was trying to figure out how you say it first, and he's like, yeah, I already know it. All right, what position does this one? I'm gonna say that's Peter Baelish hold in the royal court.
Um, so he's the Lord Treasurer, but it's called Master of Coin.
God damn, yeah, that's correct. God damn, I figured that one would at least get him. They'd be like, oh, is he treasurer or something? All right, here we go. Last one. Try not to laugh. What happens to Eddard Stark at the end of the book?
He gets decapitated. He gets publicly executed.
On whose orders?
King Joffrey.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah, he's 10 for 10. Maybe let's do a different book. Give me Harry Potter questions. Fuck you. Maybe you don't know Harry Potter.
I know Harry Potter.
We'll see. You shut up. Folks, it's usually only 2, but he aced them so much that I'm annoyed. So here we go. Oh my god, all these questions. I'm looking at the answers. They all look dumb easy, but here we go. Let's go. What house is Harry Potter sorted into at Hogwarts?
Gryffindor.
Correct. What is the name of Harry's owl?
Hedwig.
Okay, correct. You hesitated. I was like, okay, maybe I got him. Who was the Half-Blood Prince?
Severus Snape.
Correct. You sure it wasn't Harry? You sure? Well, we already got it. All right, what position?
That's
Yeah, what position does Harry play on the Gryffindor Quidditch team?
he plays the Seeker.
That's correct. Thought we had him. Thought we
Okay.
had him. I got excited. What magical what magical object shows the deepest desires of a person's heart?
It's the mirror. Dumbledore's mirror.
Do you know the magical name of it or whatever? The proper name of it, I guess.
Uh, Shoot, I don't.
Great. It is a mirror, so you do get half a point, but because I'm a petty little Betty, I don't want to give you the full point. It's called the Mirror of Earseed.
Yeah, I forgot that.
What is Lord Voldemort's real name?
Tom Morvolo Riddle.
Yep. What are the names of Harry's parents?
James and Lily Potter.
Man, softball. What is a yeah, correct. What is a Horcrux?
A Horcrux is the splitting of a soul
Correct.
into a physical object.
Yeah, this one says a dark magical. You still get the point. A dark magical object used to hide part of a wizard's soul to achieve immortality. I still give you the point just because
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, you got the gist of it. Who kills Dumbledore? Spoilers.
Severus Snape.
Remember, like 10, maybe 15 at this point years ago. That's like such a big deal. People were at the movie theaters snitching, like, "Oh,
It was like
Snape
15
kills
years ago.
Dumbledore."
Yep, that was like 15 years ago. That was a long time ago at this point.
Exactly, and it's just like the foolish thing of because nowadays most people they're not hyped to go to the movies anymore. Like that thing has kind of died down. Everybody's like, "I'll catch it on Netflix. I don't really care," or "I'll catch it on streaming."
No, like this year I have been. In previous years, especially since COVID, I have not been. But since 2025 started, we've been to the movies pretty often.
Oh, so you've seen Minecraft?
Yes.
You've
Yep, we already talked
seen
about this last week.
you've seen Lilo and Stitch?
I have not, but that just came out last weekend and we saw Mission Impossible. So
Mission
I wasn't going to see
Impossible.
two.
Oh, that's what we could have talked about. Mission Impossible. I forgot. What spell is used to summon objects?
To summon objects.
I'm blaming the way ChatGPT worded this.
I think that you mean Accio,
That's
but I
correct.
don't. The
Yeah,
way
that's
they
correct. It's
okay,
Accio.
okay,
Yeah.
the way they word it is weird.
Yeah, that's what I say. The way ChatGPT worded that is weird. Before we go into our, is that the last thing? Yeah, topic number 4. Before we go into the last thing, actually, no, we can talk about the last topic number 4, but it's not part of that. How'd you like Mission Impossible, or is it score wise? Like, what would you score it? Because I'm thinking like 7 out of 10.
I was thinking 7.5, just because I came for the stunts, and man, oh man, did they deliver on the stunts.
Yeah, stunts were
I would say
really
that.
good. The
Yeah,
thing is, it doesn't hit the same highs without Henry Cavill for me, so that's why I can't go higher than the 7. And I don't want to do a half point because then what if I say 7.6? Like it
I
just
think Gabriel's a fine villain. He's fine.
no, he was
He's
better. He was
dangerous.
better in what's called Dead Reckoning. Dead Reckoning to me
Dead
had better
Reckoning,
stunts
because he
than
was
Final
dangerous.
Reckoning.
I don't the scene, the entire submarine sequence to me was a masterpiece. And when we look back on it, you can be like, "Yo, this scene right here, this is awesome." Then you get the biplane stunt. The biplane stunt is really cool.
It
But yeah,
reminds me. Wait, hold on. But the biplane stunt reminds me. Not that it's a fault. I love nostalgia and callbacks. It just
it
reminds me
reminds
too
you of
much.
that helicopter.
All right, yeah, there you go. Exactly. Yep.
So I thought that it was similar when I was looking at the trailers, but actually seeing the stunt, I feel like it was a very different stunt to pull
I
off.
think it was too. I haven't watched Fallout in a while, but the fact that to me Fallout is
I
the
watched
most.
all.
You watched all of them. Yeah,
I watched
Fallout
them
is the
all
most
last
replayable,
week.
just because of the chemistry. Excuse me, between Henry
I
Cavill
also
and
like which is Ghost Protocol. Yeah, Ghost Protocol is also
is
pretty
that
good.
the one where
Pretty
he's
good.
climbing the Burj Khalifa?
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Rogue
I
Nation
also
is
like
also
five.
good.
Yeah, 5 and 6. Those are probably the three best ones. 4, 5, and 6.
Which one is 4?
4 is Ghost Protocol. That's the one where he's climbing the Burj Khalifa.
And you know what's funny
5
about
is
that? Before you go
uh,
on, I think 3 came out in like let me say the 2000s, and then it was a long gap where Tom Cruise kind of left it alone, and 4 was kind of like a semi reboot because it was almost like maybe 6 years later, a long time passed. So it was funny seeing that they came out the gate swinging, and I don't remember if that's the one with Jeremy Renner, but I know that one was very very good.
no, the Runners in 4 and 5.
Yeah, 4 and 5. So yep, they came out swinging, and I think at that point, Tom Cruise, or maybe not Tom Cruise, but the studio wanted to low key pass the torch to Jeremy Renner because he was kind of the new it thing in the 2010s of Hollywood. Because Jeremy Renner, we talked about, was also in Jason Bourne. He didn't have the star power to take on the leading role, but it was cool seeing Jeremy Renner there, and I loved Jeremy Renner playing off of Tom Cruise, just like I loved who I just said, Henry Cavill playing off of Tom Cruise. That's why with this
They
one,
had a whole different. So in three, they had that Asian chick. They had the dude from Russia with Love with John Travolta, and they had Luther, which is Ving Rhames.
yeah,
But then in
Luther's been there day
four,
one. That's his day one right there.
but Luther's not in four.
Oh
That's the
wait,
only one where he only see him in one scene, and it's the very last scene of the
oh, on the
movie.
docks or something like that. Damn.
In four, the whole group is different. You got Simon Pegg, you got what the heck is his name? Jeremy Renner, and you got Paula Patton. That's his group for
Oh,
four.
so yeah, that was like to me that's like a little soft reboot to test the waters if people still like it, and it was really good. It was really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, 4, 5, and 6 definitely they're up there. So that's Fallout, Ghost Protocol, and I don't remember already.
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation, yeah, very good. And like I said, I like Dead Reckoning. I did enjoy Dead Reckoning, and Final Reckoning is good. But Final Reckoning felt like a little bit more somber. It was like watching. It
It
was
wasn't. It wasn't. They didn't go in and say, "Let's create this good movie." They said, "Let's create a good send off for Ethan Hunt."
exactly. So that's probably what the vibe it gave me. It felt like, damn, I'm watching Endgame. Like these people about to not make this movie no more. So it didn't feel as happy. Like the one before, it felt
I feel
happy.
like
Like yeah,
they're gonna do Mission Impossible. They just won't do Ethan Hunt. I feel like they're gonna do that group that you end with. They're still gonna do movies with that group.
I hope so because the franchise is really good. Get another younger guy that wants to do crazy
Yeah.
stunts. I mean, it was safe stunts.
No, no, the young guy, the black dude,
Which guy?
the black dude.
From the submarine?
No, the black dude in the
Oh,
group
yeah,
who
yeah, yeah. I
used
forgot. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, he was there. He had more screen time in the other one, so that's why I was like, I forgot him for a second. Yeah.
so he's like the young IMF guy. Then you got the thief, who's Peggy Carter. I forget her name.
Love her. Yeah, love her because she had
Then
charisma
you
as soon as
got
she got on screen. Let me talk
yes,
about the
you got the
women real
assassin.
fast because we had Ilsa Faust who was played by Rebecca Ferguson. The reason why she left because
Yeah,
at first I was mad and people when on my review they was mad too that she spoilers she died in the previous one. Dead Reckoning, and everybody was mad. But then I looked into it. She left the franchise on purpose because she said that filming these Mission Impossible movies take 1 to 3 years, and they just have you required to be on call for that 1 to 3 years. So you can't do any other projects. So in that time between Dead Reckoning and Final Reckoning, she was able to film 2 movies and 2 TV shows, Dune 2, a whole bunch of other stuff. So I was like, okay, I get it. She wanted to still be doing some acting stuff, not just waiting on call to fly to, whatever country. And you would have got paid, by the way. So you wait on call and you still get paid to go to whatever country they need you in that scene for. That's why the budget kind of for the Mission Impossible movies is way too high. So they said, like the news reports was like, yeah, even though we know this one's not going to make as much money as you said, Elbow, this is a send off. So the budget's a little high. That was not intentional, but that's because they be holding these actors. I don't want to say hostage because that sounds mean. Because you're getting paid. Keep in mind, you are getting paid. You can't work on no other projects because they need you when they need you. But yeah, Rebecca Ferguson. It's funny because she was great when we saw her in Don't Get Me the Line or the name of the one that we first saw her in. It's like, all right, bet. And then
that was
she's
Rogue
gone.
Nation.
Rogue Nation, yeah. It was like, all right, yeah, we love her. And then
That's what
she,
Roman Lane. She's a part of his group, the Syndicate.
yeah, and it's so good. She had charisma on screen because she was like a bad guy, good girl type thing, whatever. And then we get the thief, who's just as good. And it's like, God damn, we are hitting it out the park. Whoever's casting these people are doing a great job.
But then so hold on, let me keep going. So you got the young IMF guy, you got the thief, which is Peggy Carter. I keep forgetting her name. I don't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't know. The
And
thief
then
is
you
good.
got yes, the assassin, who's Mantis from Guardians, and then you got the tech guy,
Benji.
which is yeah. So that's a group right there. That's a group I think who could do their own movie if they had a lower budget.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. You okay if I get into spoilers, right?
Yeah,
Why did Luther have to die? Like, it feels so unnecessary because he could have been in the next one. He didn't have to die. I felt like that was
somebody dies
unnecessary.
in every movie, and if they want to keep it going, Ving Rhames is kind of older than Simon Pegg. He's been there
Oh,
longer than Simon Pegg,
okay.
and you kind of need a comic relief in that group. So I would say
Okay.
if they want to keep it going, Simon Pegg is the guy to keep it going, not really Ving Rhames.
Okay, gotcha.
But somebody dies in every movie. In the first movie, his whole crew gets squad wiped
That joint was
by
funny because
John
he's
Wick.
right. He's
Yeah,
trying to see the car blows up. Oh
yeah,
man.
they get squad wiped. And then in the beginning of two, his like German or Russian boy who thinks like his name is Dimitri, he gets murked by the main bad guy. Then in three, his protege gets killed. Carrie Russell, remember his protege? Like he
Yep.
goes to rescue her,
Her
and
eyeball
like
thing.
it
She had
blows.
a bomb in her eye or her head, her brain.
Yeah. And then in four, the guy gets killed who's like the head of the IMF. Like him and Jeremy Renner are in the car, and then the guy just get freaking sniped.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Damn. Okay.
And then in five, who the heck dies in five?
You've seen it more
Somebody dies.
recently than I have. Don't make me
I
lie.
forget. And then in six, Alec Baldwin dies. In seven, Ilsa Faust dies. And
I
then
was
in
mad.
eight,
Yeah, okay. So now you're
uh,
getting more fresh in my memory. When Alec Baldwin died, I was mad, but I get it. It's to rope you in. Good, smart move. Yeah,
yeah,
those movies are
yeah.
good.
Who dies in five?
I
Don't
don't know.
remember.
Don't make me lie. That wasn't even our proper topic, but I just wanted to talk about Mission Impossible. I think it's good. It just for me felt. And then, by the way, I love the runtime. You know, I don't care if a movie's long if it's good. This movie was good and it was long, but for me personally, it was more somber because it was like, damn, this feels like the end of an era. I feel old. I feel sad that I'm not going to see Tom Cruise doing crazy stunts. I know he's 60, but he looked like he's 50. Like, let this man cook if he wants to, but he probably know he can't keep doing that forever. So for me, that's why I
Yeah.
can't give it a high rating, just because it makes me feel sad as a personal rating.
To me, it feels like two movies. It feels like they kind of won when they got the thing off of the Sebastopol.
Yeah.
I think that should it's hard to, and then they got to like revamp all the way again to go and like do a whole nother thing for another 45 minutes to an hour. It just felt like two movies.
Mm. The Sevastopol scene. Last week we talked about why AJ and Dashi don't really care for Tom Cruise. And I forgot who said it, but they said they felt like he's like the great white hope. And I felt that before they even said it when I watched the movie on IMAX. After the end of the Sevastopol scene, I think he's trying to float to the surface. He runs out of oxygen or something like that. And he just dies, but he floats up in the ice. And then that's when Peggy Carter has to save him. I know it's not her name, but that's what we're calling her. And it's like, yo, this feels like a Jesus thing. Like, are you Jesus? I could have swore you was a Scientologist, but
Seen
goddamn, you
any
feel
of the
like,
other ones?
yeah, when he's drowning and I don't know the number, but Ilsa Faust has to save him too. She goes down and save
Number
him. It's the
five.
same thing. Number 5, thank you.
Yeah, that's number five. Like, dude, he goes through. That's why they call it Mission Impossible. All the bull crap he goes through. Like, dude, this guy is doing impossible crap every day. It's not like this is the first time we see him. Like, oh, this is an ass pull in this one movie that I just saw. No, they ass pull you for the entire series.
Yeah, but this time, I mean, I didn't feel like it was an ass pull. It just felt like it reminded me of, like the first time I seen the movie, what's that called, Man of Steel. I didn't pay attention to those critiques until other people brought it up, and they said, "Oh, Superman in that movie is a Jesus analogy," and I'm like, "Oh shoot, I never noticed that."
Superman been a Jesus analogy since like the 50s.
I never read that as far as like my brain peeped that. Like I never noticed that. But with Man of Steel, they said when he jumped off I forgot which ship it was, but he kind of had his arms sticking out and his legs together, and it's like that's a cross. I'm like, wait, what? Damn, that shit was there in my face.
That's also how people dive usually. So
But yes, with Dead Reckoning, I was like, yo, this joint fit, and the music was so beautiful. The music was beautiful. The camera work was beautiful. It was a great scene. But I was like, wait, why this
so
joint? This
we went to IMAX in Cherry Hill. So we get our
good
popcorn, we
theater.
get our
Love that
drink.
theater. Love that theater.
Uh, we're walking to the theater, and I just go, and then I stop like, oh, crap, because I've been singing this song all damn week because I've been watching these stupid movies. So I do it once. Vicky looks at me. I stop, and then like 3 seconds later, there's a guy behind me that just goes. "Dun." Oh my god,
I'm glad it's
man!
not in my head,
You're
but
right.
if you say it, it might get in my head. So just don't keep doing it. But yeah, that scene with the Sevastopol, great scene, and I'm telling you,
Oh, that was a masterclass in suspense and just special effects and practical stunt work and practical effects. It was awesome.
and I love the captain of the other submarine. Like he just had like a nice charisma. He was talking
Oh,
very calmly, but he was great.
I think that also the chick who was in charge of the aircraft carrier, I liked her too. I liked a lot of
Oh, with
these
the blonde
side
hair,
characters.
yeah, exactly.
Also, the guy who they steal the necklace from in the first movie, when he comes back, like I like him and his wife. Like it was just a cool. It was cool.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now let's talk about this is topic number 4 officially. What is a movie that unperformed at the box office but you actually enjoyed? My number one pick. They don't have to be numbers, but you could just say one. But my number one pick was Dungeons and Dragons. I did not know that this movie did not sell enough to get a sequel. And this movie to me was great. 8 out of 10. Not good, great. The special
I
effects,
don't know
the
about
Dungeons
eight.
and Dragons references, the fact that it was casual and easygoing. It was like Star Trek sort of mixed with Guardians of the Galaxy. Basically, it was Guardians of the Galaxy, but in that Star Trek because it's Chris Pine and because they might take liberties with some of the things. So I
Yeah,
really
it
loved it.
felt more like a Guardians movie than a Dungeons and Dragons. It felt like a Guardians movie with a Dungeons and Dragons skin more than it felt like a real Dungeons and Dragons
And
movie.
that worked for me as a casual person. That worked.
I don't know about an 8 out of 10.
Really? Ew, what do you give it? What you think about that movie? It was funny. It was
I
action,
give
special
it
effects.
a 6 to a 6.5.
But 6 is under 7, so that means 7 is good. 6 would be like okay to okay, going on
No,
good.
five is mid. I would say
No,
that.
you gotta go by this scale, the more common
Why?
American grading scale. Oops, hold on, I'm getting
No,
pulled
no,
up.
no. You're trying to be nice. That scale is just trying to be nice to everybody. If because that means five is trash.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up right now. Let me show you. So if you had to, is this share the screen? Yeah, if you had to look at it, so a 10 would be a masterpiece. We can all agree 10 means it's a masterpiece, right? Perfect.
Okay.
All right, 9 is amazing. That sounds about right because that's close to 10. It's amazing. 8 is great because that's right above. 7 is good because you normally in like American school,
7 is
7 would be like a C. You would get 70% is a C. Then 6 is okay. That would be your D, like your D. That's what I'm saying. American,
no, no,
no,
no. The whole
nothing.
thing is wrong.
Is wrong. I like this one because fives. When you hear 5 out of 10, 50% in American school systems. I don't know
That's,
how they do it in the UK. That would be
yeah, none
mediocre.
of American school systems because
Wait,
if
no,
you are doing math,
mediocre is mid, right? Because that means it's there, mid.
it's, uh,
I would
I
say that's
guess
accurate.
mediocre is. I would say
Yeah.
mediocre is a little bit less than average.
So to you,
In my
mid
head,
would be okay.
I would say five is average.
Yeah, so 5. So mediocre, like you don't stand out. I think it says this is kind of bland, unremarkable game. So yeah, it doesn't stand out. So no, that's still accurate. So if you're giving it a 6, that means you thought it was
I
okay.
disagree. I
Disagree.
disagree. My scale is not my scale. If I think it's mid, I give it a 5. Mediocre, I'm going 4 to 3. Trash is 2, 1, or 0. I mean, I guess if you're not doing 0, trash would be like a 3, 2, or a 1.
Okay. And you said this one was kind of
Oh,
mid. I don't feel
no.
like it was mid. I feel like there were way midder movies. Did you like? I'm gonna pull the image up because maybe you don't remember it. It was called The Final Duel, The Last Duel. Did you like that? Because to me that was kind of mid, but that was also a good movie. Like I wouldn't watch it
Last
again.
two.
That had give me a second to just pull it up. What's his name? Let me pull the cast. Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Long movie, but I just don't see myself
I've never seen
rewatching
it.
this. Oh, you never seen it? Okay, that's why. So it's told from 3 different perspectives. I don't know the runtime. I'm trying to see it. I don't see it in front of me. Yeah, 2 hours, 32 minutes. Long movie, but it's told from 3 different perspectives. It's not.
Go
Oh yeah,
down
Ben Affleck is in it.
a 3.8.
Where you see that at?
Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down.
Oh, okay,
There you
right
go.
there. Yeah, 3.8. So that puts it in good because it's out of 5, by the way, not out of 10. So that puts it in almost
Out
good
of five,
territories. Yeah,
like 7 and like a 7.5.
yeah. And like I said, this is a good movie, but I just feel like in that fantasy genre, this is a little less fantasy, a little bit more drama. This would be not as good to me as the Dungeons and Dragons. Now, what about? I'm start pulling up movies. Hold on, let me go back to this
About
quote.
Dungeons and Dragons. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
This is my next movie that also didn't sell well but was good. I only discovered this later on when I was like trying to find a bunch of Robert Downey Jr. movies. I didn't like Scanner Darkly, by the way. I know people talk about, ooh, Scanner Darkly. Obviously, I love Tropic Thunder, funny movie. But Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, this is a hidden gem in a sense. Did you like this movie? Have you even seen this movie?
I've never seen it.
Okay, so it's like a not like Smoking Aces because that has more action in it, but it's a product of its time. It's those slick talking crime comedy movies where you could see maybe a Ryan Reynolds would be in it, but I feel like Ryan Reynolds does more action. This one isn't about the action. I forget the plot of it, but basically these two, Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. They're in Hollywood or something like that. Good movie. I enjoyed it. It's a very fun movie, and I really enjoy. I'm gonna call him Tony Stark. Robert Downey Jr. Didn't sell well, but it's good. Let me give you a movie I know you saw, or at least heard of. Godzilla is the second one. Yeah, King of Monsters. Well, not second because there's a bunch of these movies, but there was the 2014 Godzilla, which did sell well, and then there's King of Monsters, and this is the one. It didn't had a girl from Stranger Things in it, or is that not this one? It did. Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown. I like this one, especially seeing this in Blu-ray and seeing this in the theaters, like the rain effects, the monster effects. Ghidorah. Did you see this? Did you like this?
I saw all the Godzilla ones. I thought King of Monsters was the worst one,
Oh my
if I'm remembering.
God, Jesus.
If I'm remembering correctly, but I like these movies. I like these movies.
I'm full of images. This will help you. Ghidorah, they fight. So they meet Ghidorah in the ice caps or the Arctic. And the terrorists, they have a dumbass plan. They say, we're going to unleash all the monsters so that they can wipe the earth, because then it's like they're eco-terrorists. Then it's like we can repopulate, and the monsters' radiation will cause a whole bunch of green grass growth. Like, that's a dumb plan. You want some Thanos stuff. You cutting your nose to spite your
This is why
face.
you need your MAGA friend, bro. This is why you need your MAGA friend.
Oh.
This is stupid ass liberal plan.
um yeah, why is it not showing me all the because King of Monsters is what they call him. Like, it's showing me images from not the movie, but yeah, and Rodan is in it. Rodan is the fire one. They go to some South American place, and then every time Rodan flies past you, because Rodan's wings are on fire, because Rodan comes from out of a volcano. Like, that joint was epic. The black guy, Ice Cube's son was in it.
This one didn't make it.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. was in it. What'd you say?
This show flopped.
Yeah, it didn't sell enough. Where is the box office? It didn't do well theatrically, so it cost. What is it? It did not cost no 100,000. I don't know why that joint inaccurate. Oh, it's showing me the wrong. It's showing me the wrong King of Monsters. I'm like, what the world? I can't pull it up, but I did look. I did check it before. It didn't make enough money.
I'm a big horror fan.
Here it is.
When you talk about, so first of all, R-rated movies have a hard time making their money back if their budget is anywhere high.
Yeah, so this movie had a budget between 100 to 200 million. I'm going to assume 200 million, but it could be 170. And it only, yeah.
Yeah, what the hell does that mean? Between 100 and 200 million.
Hollywood doesn't like to tell you the real number. They only tell you whatever number that works for insurance purposes. And it only made three.
For instance, you know, they don't look as embarrassed.
Exactly. And it only made 387 million, which is a lot, but not enough to cover cost if you got to double it by 2. And now they say the math is 2.5 because you got to account for inflation and stuff like that.
Marketing. They got to do marketing. So if you got $100 million movie, you're going to spend 50 million on marketing. So that's $150 million, which means that you're only going to get half of the ticket sales. So you got to make $300 million back on a $100 million movie to make your money.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people forget when a movie goes into theaters, the people who made the movie, they don't get all that money. The theater has to eat first, so the theater takes a cut first, unless it's a Marvel movie, because they have crazy contracts where they get a huge chunk. That's why sometimes you see Marvel movies in the theaters for a longer time, at least back in the day. Another movie, The Suicide Squad. Do you remember that one? The Suicide Squad
I didn't watch that one.
with
That's probably
John
why they
Cena.
didn't get their money
With John Cena.
back. Yeah.
Damn, he didn't watch a lot of good movies. This one was good. I enjoyed this. This one
What
cost.
I would say, you seen Sinners, right?
Yeah, I saw Sinners.
So Sinners, they were saying that the marketing was $40 million and the movie cost 90 million. That's 100. That's 100. Wait, what did I say?
You said
120 million,
$40 million for marketing, 90 for cost, so that's $130 million
That's
total.
$100 million, which means you got to make 260 back to make your money, and they made that just domestically. Worldwide, they made $340 million.
So what's the
Like the
narrative? They
R-rated movie.
hate they hating on them, or what's the narrative? Like they love it or they hating?
Oh no, this is huge. This is a huge win, especially for horror movies and especially for R-rated movies, because most of the movies I'm going to watch, unless I'm going with my kids, are going to be R-rated, and it's probably going to be a horror movie because I like horror.
Yeah, horror movies. I used to not like them as a younger kid, but now as I'm getting older, they take the most risk. They're a lot more innovative and a little less formulaic because they got to find new ways to scare you. With
Like,
action movies,
until you start going into, like, series. If you start going into series, it finds its formulas.
okay, yeah. But I feel like when you see those one-offs, like there's a movie that just came out. I didn't see it yet. It's called Let Me In. No, not Let Me In. That was the prequel, or not the prequel, the previous director's thing. It's called Bring Her Back. So there's Let Me In, Bring Her Back. They try at least to come up with some interesting ideas. Like Tarot, we talked about that on Guest a Movie. I didn't like Tarot, but it was an interesting idea.
Yeah, it sucked.
And then the last movie I would say would be Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Good movie, but definitely did not.
You see Friday the 13th remake
They made a remake. There's no remake.
in 2009. Yep.
No, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's the original. That's the movie.
Friday the 13th
Oh,
remake.
Friday the 13th. 2009. Which one is that? Let me pull that one up. Let me just see how much Scott Pilgrim made real fast. It only made 51 million on a 60 to 85 million dollar budget.
Oof, that's a flop. That's a bad flop.
Yeah, bad flop. But it's like a what's that word? Cult classic. I don't remember this one. This was good. Friday the
I
13th.
liked it.
Okay, let me see how much it made.
Yeah, I'm talking about movies that made money.
Oh yeah, this made money. This sold
This
cost
one,
19 and made 92. So very good, profitable.
you got Halloween 2018. You have Freddy versus Jason. Like, some of these movies can make money, but normally R-rated movies and horror movies don't make their money back.
Okay, yeah, I got you. Damn, this movie only cost 10 million to make. They won. That John made
What, Halloween
259 million. Yeah, 2018.
2018 is the highest grossing horror movie of all time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that John made bank, dog. Off a small budget, of course they brought everybody back. I feel like they also probably lowballed Jamie Lee Curtis. If the movie only cost 10 million, they must have only paid her 1 million for
Well,
all the hard work
she
she's
was
done.
asking, she's been asking to do a Laurie Strode movie like this for a long time. I read, well, I don't really have time to read right now. I'm actually physically reading Christine by Stephen King, but right now I'm doing an audiobook of like movie creation. So I did Taking Shape, which goes into all the Halloween movies. I
Mhm.
did Slash of the Titans, which goes into the making of Freddy vs. Jason and how it took them 13 years just to make this movie. Um,
See, that's
and right now
interesting. I
I'm
love that
doing,
behind the scenes stuff.
oh, it's awesome. Right now I'm doing Reign of Chucky, and the behind the scenes crap and all these Hollywood like makings of these movies is so awesome, so interesting.
Yeah, I like watching. Well, you're listening to, but I like the behind the scenes stuff. I guess I like watching it better. Does it at least have music when you listen to that, or is it just a person reading a book?
It's just a person reading the book.
I like audio
You can
dramas
get
versus audio
dramatization.
books.
Yeah, you can get the dramatizations of some of these.
Yeah,
But this is just
yeah.
this is really a history of making a movie. I don't know how you could dramatize that.
Well, it's like a regular documentary. Just play some music, some scary music in the background. That licensed music of the Chucky stuff, of the the Halloween thing. But yeah, so those are some movies that we enjoyed. Apparently, Elbow didn't enjoy Dungeons and Dragons, and he's a D&D guy. I guess it was slightly blasphemous to him. I don't
This
know.
is good.
6 is good.
I thought it
Okay.
was good. This is good.
I like the other rating scale because when you hear 7, everybody colloquially knows that 7 is good. 7 is mid and it's good. 7 is the new mid, by the way.
Oh, it's not mid. That's just people being nice to each other.
Yeah,
Damn,
exactly,
bro, you try to
exactly.
with this girl. What is she out of 10? Oh, she's a 7. That could be anything. That could literally
Exactly.
be anything.
Now you on board. Now you know. 7 could be anything. She's a 7. So you go in with high expectations. Like, is she a high? Well, I'm trying not to laugh. Is she a high 7, a low 7? Because a low 7 is really a 6. A high 7 is like a 7.
Oh my god, what? Just say she is 6. I'll be cool with a 6. Just tell me she is 6 when I'm walking in.
Joel Santana, again with the rap references. Joel Santana said, 2 nickels make a dime every time. I. All right, let me end the show. We got to start our day. As always, folks, if you want to hear your topic on the show, follow us on all the social medias. Use was it hashtag TNT, and we'll talk about your topic. We'll be here, same black time, same black channel. We out.
Oh wait, before you go out, Chris Brown got arrested. Look it up.
Who got arrested?
Chris Brown.
Oh yeah, Paris or something like that. I don't. Hey, I gotta look it up.